Hey there, food lovers. Welcome back to Chef Dwayne's Kitchen. Today, we're diving headfirst into the wonderful world of seafood sauces. Now, a good sauce can take a dish from meh to magnificent in a snap. And when it comes to seafood, the right sauce can really make those flavors sing. We're talking about 10 of his all-time favorite seafood sauces. The kind of recipes that'll have your family and friends begging for seconds, and maybe even thirds. Over the years at my catering company, crabbylegs.com, I've perfected these sauces, and today, he's sharing all of his secrets with you. We're going step by step, folks. We're talking ingredients, measurements, and all those little tips and tricks that make a recipe extra special. Whether you're a seasoned pro in the kitchen or just starting out, trust me, you can absolutely master these sauces. Get those aprons ready, because we're about to get cooking. First up, we're starting with a classic, lemon butter sauce. This sauce is so versatile, you can put it on just about any fish and it will taste amazing. We're going to start with some unsalted butter. Gotta love that buttery goodness. I like to use a good quality butter here. It really does make a difference. We're going to melt that down nice and slow over medium heat. While that's melting, let's mince up some fresh garlic. The smell of fresh garlic sizzling in butter? Forget about it. Okay, now that the butter is all melted, we're going to whisk in some fresh lemon juice. I always use fresh lemons for this. The bottled stuff just doesn't compare. We want that bright, zesty flavor. And don't be shy with the lemon juice, folks. It's what gives this sauce that classic zing. Now we're going to add a pinch of salt and some fresh cracked black pepper. Remember, we can always add more seasoning later, so let's start slow. Now we're going to turn the heat down to low and let this simmer for about 5 minutes, just to let all those flavors really meld together. See how the sauce is thickening up nicely? That's what we want. All right, time to taste it. Needs a little something? I know. Just a touch of cayenne pepper. There we go. That little kick at the end is perfection. This sauce is amazing with grilled shrimp, scallops, or even a nice piece of white fish. All right, folks, get ready for a flavor vacation because we're whipping up my spicy mango salsa. This sauce is bursting with fresh, vibrant flavors. It's sweet, it's spicy, it's tangy, it's got it all going on. First things first, we need a perfectly ripe mango. You want one that gives just a little when you squeeze it. Dice that mango up into beautiful little cubes. Next, we're going to finely chop some red onion, some red bell pepper for a little sweetness, and some jalapeno for a kick. If you like it extra spicy, you can leave the seeds in the jalapeno, but I usually take them out to keep things on the milder side. Now, the secret ingredient that takes this salsa to the next level? Fresh cilantro. Chop up a handful of cilantro and toss it in. Don't be afraid to be generous with the cilantro. It adds such a lovely fresh flavor. Now we're going to squeeze in the juice of 1 lime. That bright citrusy flavor is going to really wake up all those other flavors. Season it with salt and pepper to taste. And here's a little tip. A pinch of sugar can really help balance out the acidity of the lime juice. Give it a good stir, and then let it hang out in the fridge for at least 30 minutes so all those flavors can really get to know each other. This salsa is incredible with grilled mahi-mahi, shrimp tacos, you name it. It's even good with tortilla chips. All right, folks, if you want to add a touch of elegance to your seafood, this creamy dill sauce is the answer. It's so rich, so flavorful, and it comes together in a flash. We're going to start with some mayonnaise good old-fashioned mayo. Don't be afraid to use the good stuff here. Now, for that signature dill flavor, we're using fresh dill. Chop up a couple of tablespoons of fresh dill. And don't be shy, folks. We want that fresh dill flavor to really shine through. Next, we need some sour cream to add a little tang and creaminess. I like to use full-fat sour cream for this sauce. It just makes it extra decadent. Now, for a little zing, we're going to add some Dijon mustard. Just a teaspoon will do. We don't want to overpower the other flavors. And of course, no sauce is complete without a little salt and pepper. Give it a taste and adjust the seasoning as needed. And here's a little secret. A squeeze of lemon juice at the end really brightens up the flavors. This sauce is perfect with salmon, cod, or even as a dip for your favorite seafood appetizers. You know what they say? You can't have fried fish without tartar sauce. And this ain't your mama's tartar sauce, folks. This is tangy tartar sauce with a little extra something something. First things first, we need some good quality mayonnaise. I'm using a classic mayonnaise for this recipe. Now we need some pickles. Not just any pickles though. We're using dill pickles chopped up nice and fine. Those little bits of pickle are what give tartar sauce that signature crunch. Next up, some capers. Capers add a salty, briny flavor that you just can't beat. If you don't have capers on hand, you can substitute them with chopped green olives. Now for a little freshness, we're going to add some chopped fresh parsley. Parsley adds a bright, herbaceous flavor that really balances out the richness of the mayo. And here's my secret ingredient, a little bit of Dijon mustard. It adds a nice tangy kick that really takes this tartar sauce over the top. Season it up with some salt and pepper, give it a good stir, and you're good to go. This tartar sauce is the perfect companion for your favorite fried fish, shrimp, or even calamari. Alright folks, this next sauce is for those nights when you want something simple yet elegant. It's my garlic wine sauce, and let me tell you, it's a real showstopper. We're going to start by melting some butter in a saucepan over medium heat. I like to use unsalted butter so I can control the saltiness of the sauce. Once the butter is melted, we're going to add some minced garlic. Now, here's where the magic happens. We're going to deglaze the pan with some white wine. Deglazing the pan is just a fancy way of saying we're going to use the wine to lift up all those delicious brown bits from the bottom of the pan. Those brown bits are pure flavor. Let the wine reduce for a few minutes until it's thickened up slightly. Next, we're going to add some chicken broth. You can also use vegetable broth if you prefer. Bring the sauce to a simmer and let it cook for about 5 minutes or until it's reduced and slightly thickened. Now, we're going to finish the sauce with a few pats of cold butter. This is called mounting the sauce, and it gives it a beautiful glossy sheen and a rich velvety texture. Season it with salt and pepper to taste, and you're good to go. This sauce is amazing served over grilled fish, scallops, or even shrimp. Alright folks, let's spice things up with a classic New Orleans favorite, my remoulade sauce. This sauce is tangy, it's spicy, and it's absolutely addictive. We're going to start with a base of mayonnaise. I like to use a good quality mayonnaise here. It really makes a difference. Now, for that signature remoulade flavor, we're going to add some prepared horseradish. Horseradish adds a sharp, pungent flavor that really wakes up the palate. Next up, we need some ketchup. Ketchup adds a touch of sweetness and acidity that balances out the horseradish. And of course, no remoulade sauce would be complete without some Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce adds a savory depth of flavor that you just can't beat. Now, for a little texture and crunch, we're going to add some chopped cornichons. Cornichons are small pickled gherkins that add a tangy, salty bite. And finally, we're going to add a pinch of cayenne pepper for a little kick. Give it a good stir, and then let it chill in the fridge for at least 30 minutes to let those flavors really meld together. This remoulade sauce is the perfect dipping sauce for fried seafood, shrimp, crab cakes, you name it. Alright folks, this next sauce is for all you lemon lovers out there. It's my lemon caper sauce, and it's bursting with bright, zesty flavors. We're going to start by melting some butter in a saucepan over medium heat. I like to use unsalted butter so I can control the saltiness of the sauce. Once the butter is melted, we're going to add some capers. Now, capers are naturally salty, so we're going to rinse them under cold water before adding them to the sauce. This will help to remove some of the excess salt. We're going to let the capers cook in the butter for a minute or two just to soften them up a bit. Next, we're going to add some fresh lemon juice. I always use fresh lemons for this. The bottled stuff just doesn't compare. We want that bright, zesty flavor. And don't be shy with the lemon juice, folks. It's what gives this sauce that signature zing. We're going to let the sauce simmer for a few minutes, just to let all those flavors really meld together. Now we're going to finish the sauce with a few pats of cold butter. This is called mounting the sauce, and it gives it a beautiful glossy sheen and a rich velvety texture. Season it with salt and pepper to taste, and you're good to go. This sauce is amazing served over grilled fish, scallops, or even shrimp. Alright folks, this next sauce is not for the faint of heart. It's my spicy sriracha mayo, and it's packed with a fiery kick. But don't worry, it's also got a creamy, tangy side that'll keep you coming back for more. We're going to start with some good old-fashioned mayonnaise. I'm using a classic mayonnaise for this recipe. Now, for the heat, we're going to add some sriracha sauce. Sriracha is a Vietnamese hot sauce made from chili peppers, garlic, vinegar, and sugar. It's got a nice balance of sweet, spicy, and tangy. Start with a teaspoon or two of sriracha and taste as you go. You can always add more if you like it extra spicy. Next, we're going to add a squeeze of lime juice. The lime juice adds a bright citrusy flavor that cuts through the richness of the mayo and the heat of the sriracha. And for a little extra flavor, we're going to add a pinch of garlic powder and onion powder. If you have fresh garlic and onion on hand, feel free to use those instead. Give it a good stir, and then let it chill in the fridge for at least 30 minutes to let those flavors really meld together. This spicy sriracha mayo is the perfect dipping sauce for fried seafood, shrimp, crab cakes, you name it. It's also amazing on sandwiches and burgers. All right, folks, who doesn't love a classic tomato sauce? But this isn't your ordinary tomato sauce. This is my creamy tomato sauce with a seafood twist. We're going to start with some good quality olive oil in a saucepan over medium heat. Once the olive oil is heated through, we're going to add some chopped onion and garlic. We're going to cook the onion and garlic until they're soft and translucent, about 5 minutes. Now for that tomato flavor, we're going to add some crushed tomatoes. You can use canned crushed tomatoes or fresh tomatoes that have been peeled and crushed. We're going to let the sauce simmer for about 15 minutes or until it's thickened slightly. Now, for that creamy texture, we're going to add some heavy cream. Heavy cream adds a richness and a velvety texture that you just can't beat. We're going to let the sauce simmer for another 5 minutes or until it's heated through. And here's my secret ingredient, a pinch of sugar. A pinch of sugar helps to balance out the acidity of the tomatoes and creates a more rounded flavor. Season it with salt and pepper to taste, and you're good to go. This creamy tomato sauce is amazing served over grilled fish, scallops, or even shrimp. Last, but certainly not least, we're going to make a vibrant and flavorful chimichurri sauce. This Argentinian sauce is traditionally served with grilled meats, but trust me, it's absolutely incredible with seafood. This sauce is all about fresh herbs, so don't be shy. We're going to start with a big handful of fresh parsley, a handful of fresh oregano, and a few sprigs of fresh thyme. Roughly chop the herbs and add them to a food processor. Next, we're going to add some garlic, red pepper flakes for a touch of heat, and a pinch of salt. Now, pulse the food processor a few times until the herbs are finely chopped. We don't want to puree the herbs, just chop them up finely. Now, with the food processor running, we're going to slowly drizzle in some olive oil. The olive oil will help to bind the sauce together and create a creamy emulsion. Once all the olive oil has been added, give the sauce a taste and adjust the seasonings as needed. And here's a little tip. You can add a splash of red wine vinegar or lemon juice to the sauce for a little extra tang. This chimichurri sauce is best served fresh, but it can be stored in an airtight container in the refrigerator for up to 3 days. Wow, we did it! We've explored 10 incredible seafood sauces that are sure to take your culinary creations to the next level. Remember, folks, a good sauce can make all the difference, turning an ordinary dish into something truly special. I hope you enjoyed learning how to make these sauces as much as I enjoyed sharing them with you. For more info or live chef assistance, email us at dwayne@juicysteaksusa.com or text us at 843-324-0124. Don't forget to check out crabbylegs.com for more delicious recipes and tips. And be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new videos. Now go out there and get saucy.